Hey, what's up my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their ascension process. And today I'm going to share with you 8 possible side effects that you might be experiencing due to this high influx of energy that we've all just been subjected to as a result of this powerful eclipse gateway. A silly analogy has come to mind that I think is a very good metaphor for how we might, some of us anyways, highly individual obviously, but a lot of us might be feeling this certain way that I'll get into right now. So as many of you know, I used to own a personal training gym, right? And I had a team of trainers, and we would always joke with each other. We would say that we knew it was a good workout when the women in particular, you know, a lot of them, they would come into the workout sort of like looking nice with their makeup done and like with their nice workout clothes, and we would always know it was a good workout by how much of a mess they would look like. Their makeup would be running, their hair would be all over the place. They would have like given up on trying to preserve their beautiful appearance because it was just so demanding. And they just had this like certain look about them. And that, I think, is a good way to describe how many of us might feel. It's the workout, it's a positive experience. Working out, it's improving your fitness, improving your health, making you a better person, similar to this energy. It's helping you ascend, it's helping you expand you and open you up to more of your true self. But when there's a lot of it, it was a hard workout in a sense. You might find yourself feeling a bit frazzled, a bit pooped, a bit out of sorts, a bit scattered, and like, whew, like you just had a hard workout in a sense. So anyways, I'll move on now and get into 8 signs that you, or not signs, sorry, 8 side effects that you might be experiencing. Obviously, these are not the only 8 things. I'm not predicting you're going to feel this way. It's a highly individual process that has a lot to do with exactly where you're at on your journey. However, there are some similarities I picked up and just noticed that that can happen when you go through these types of high energy periods. What just happened was not the first big gateway, if you want to call it that, and it certainly will not be the last. So if you have a little bit of foresight and understand some of the potential effects, I think it'll maybe help ease your mind and just help you adjust more easily, because knowledge is power. Having information is always helpful. And that is my hope for this video, to kind of help inform you about the potential side effects. So 1, you might find yourself feeling scattered, unfocused. You might have time. You might be able to I'll give an example. There's this thing I want to start, this new program I'll be launching. I'm not going to talk about it now because it's a bit too premature. I'll let you guys know when it comes to pass. But I'm excited about it. During this new moon and like the eclipse and this whole past week, I felt very passionate about it. But I was like a lot of you guys, I was so frazzled. I just felt like I had so much going on and so much to do. I didn't have any time really to work on it. But Monday morning, what is it, Tuesday? Monday morning and then today, I had time. I carved out what I call my magic time, where after my meditation, after my coffee, a couple hour chunk of time where I can just be really productive. But even though all this, the stage was set for me to get a lot done, it just wasn't happening. I felt almost like it was impossible for me to focus, and like it was just, everything was going against the current. It just felt like the energy was not supportive, at least right now, of me doing that thing. So that's okay. It's common to feel a bit, again, like you had a tough workout, a bit frazzled, a bit unfocused after something like that. Everything will eventually kind of balance out, and it can take time for all the benefits to make themselves known. Number 2 is you might feel exhausted. Whenever there's a lot of energy, it catalyzes a lot of inner growth, a lot of transformation. They manifest in a lot of stuff to do in your life. And the consequence of all 3 of those things, you might feel just tired, just zapped, mentally burnt out, physically run down, even though you might have not been doing anything overly obviously physical that would warrant such fatigue, but you just might feel like you need a vacation from life for a couple of days. You need to do nothing for a little while. That's okay. Again, that's very common. I felt that way today as well. I noticed it in the gym, you know, because I work out and I track how much weight I use and how many reps I do, and I have a pretty good self-awareness of how much I should be improving. It's always evident in my workouts because I can kind of see the numbers. I can also just tell subjectively how I feel, and I definitely feel that as well. I feel a little better now, actually, ironically, after the workout, but I felt this way myself. Some people I'm talking to are like zooming around. It just depends, but it's not uncommon to feel very tired after something like this eclipse. 3, this is something I noticed more so with this eclipse in particular, is what I'm going to call it, annoying divine timing. That sounds like an oxymoron. How could that be? And I'll tell you how. It's because I feel like there's more of a more like resistance and consequences to not being in perfect harmony and alignment and in the flow. It's like just stepping slightly outside of the flow. It's like and things are coming together when they need to, but our mind, it has the habit of trying to figure everything out, so it can get really stressed out with divine timing. The idea that things falling into your lap just at the precise time and you can relax and trust is a beautiful concept, a beautiful idea. But the reality of it for your mind, which is not used to letting go so much, it can be kind of, it doesn't know what to do with itself, so it can fester. I've been experiencing this with these videos, ironically. I've been doing these daily videos, and throughout my whole YouTube journey, I've experimented with different ways of creating videos. Sometimes I get like I'll call it a download, where I have like 4 or 5 awesome ideas, and I'll write it down. It's like a channeled experience almost. Then I'll shoot them all in 1 or 2 days, and then I'll have 4 or 5 videos already shot, and it kind of makes my life easier. I've had times where that doesn't happen, and relying on that was unwise, so I would do like a couple a day and I'd have schedules. The way it's been going down lately is because I've been kind of uploading a little later. I've been shooting them the day of, usually independently. I might shoot a couple today, but anyway, it's been like I've been waking up in the morning completely like clueless of what to talk about. It seemed like it used to be easier for me and more obvious, but it's almost like it's got to be perfect. And the idea has been coming like right before it's time for me to shoot. But the whole day I was like stressing out, like, wow, dude, you got to be shooting your video anytime now. You have no idea what to talk about. You've kind of recommitted to these daily videos. But lo and behold, every time when I go to shoot, I get that like gust of that feeling of like being tapped in and like just knowing what to talk about. So again, that's a good thing. It's like I can relax now. I don't have to wake up worried about knowing what to do or do too much mental planning. I can just let go and trust that the ideas will come when they need to come. But that's easier said than done, so it might take some getting used to. So anyway, being more tapped into divine timing is awesome. Just give yourself time to adjust. Number 4 is you might find yourself harboring a lot of tension. I noticed this as well in the gym. I realized I was doing back squats where you put the bar over like your upper back like this, and you hold the weight and you squat. And I noticed my traps were just so, oh my goodness, they felt so tight. It's a little bit, it can be a little painful to do that, but it just felt really, really like needing a massage or something. So what I'm gonna do, recommend, is I have a foam roller. These are called rumble rollers. Athletes use them to kind of knead out their sore muscles. So that's what I'm gonna do. You could go and maybe get a massage if you want. Some of you are probably thinking, I can't get a massage, I can't afford one, yada yada. I get it, I understand. So a real cheap way to do this, even if you don't want to invest in a foam roller, fine. You could take a little tennis ball or a racket ball and you put it on the wall and you kind of lean into it. It'll have the exact same effect. You can kind of get the tight spots beautifully. So anyways, you might feel tense because I don't know if it's my own hypothesis, but I don't know if it's the energy itself that causes the tension, but I feel like when we are confronted with a lot of our like challenging emotions and experiences that stretch us and grow us, it can just be like we have a stress reaction in our body. And even though it's kind of past, our body's still like tight from just all of that processing. So that's okay. It'll like relax on its own, I found. But a nice little daily dose of the foam roller is what I'm gonna prescribe myself, and you can just kind of speed up that that process of reducing the tension. Number 5 is you might feel more of a difficulty getting in the flow. I've experienced this the last couple of days as well. Just like things are not going smoothly for me. Like I was going to shoot this video at this park I sometimes go to. I haven't been there in a while, but because it's later in the day, the sun was high and there was a huge shadow on my face. So I drove all the way up there just to have to kind of turn back around, and now I'm here and family's chilling outside. So anyway, little things like that, you can just kind of feel out of the flow. But I have a theory about this. I feel like we're more in the flow now. We're just not used to this degree of the flow. We're not used to this degree of divine timing. It can take us some time to kind of adjust to the new potential which now exists as a result. Fortunately, number 6 is you might feel like you're getting way more synchronicities than ever. Just the 11-11, the 12-12, all that might be happening at the same time. So that's kind of convenient. Even though you might not feel in the flow at all times, you're getting kind of those reminders to keep the faith and to hold strong and to know that what had happened and what you're going through and experiencing and what's going to happen is all ultimately being taken care of. You're going to be just fine. Here's the 11-11 to kind of ease your mind. So it's okay. Again, there's just essentially the whole message here is that there's an adjustment period to this. There's a lot of potential benefits in these big energy gateways, but it can take some time to build up to them, and then for the energy to kind of dissipate, and then for us to kind of assimilate it all, and where it becomes more evident in our character and in our actual life. A second part I wanted to mention about the increased synchronicity. I just believe a lot of people now are really just more opened up. Throughout my whole journey, I've been given doses, you could say, of challenging information, challenging spiritual, metaphysical type of information that really took time to kind of process and work into my existing concepts of reality. And I feel like a lot of people might have come into a lot of information, and maybe not even you guys. It's nothing new. It might not even seem like a big deal to you, but I feel like the masses are starting to kind of open up. Not all of them, obviously, but like open up to more of like, I don't know, just the truth of how things actually are. And it can be, that too is another indicative of a positive boost in vibration. But again, it's one of those other things that can take some time to kind of, where you take time to adjust to. Number 7, you might feel just wound up. Like, you know you should relax, but you can't. Sometimes when we get into a mode of go, process, excitement, it just, and then like, things slow down, or they seem to, at least now. You might feel yourself still like in that mode of like, you know you should relax, but you can't. You just feel like worked up. Lastly, number 8, there seems to be a more noticeable divide occurring. The darkness is becoming darker, more black, and the light is becoming brighter. There are 2 diverging timelines / directions that people are going into. There's an emergence of awareness, consciousness, light energy exploding into the planet, and it can be related with in one of 2 ways. One of them is what you guys are doing. You're allowing yourself to align to it, to open up spiritually to way more of your true potential, awesome self. But for that to happen, it's dissolving in sometimes a painful, cathartic way the pre-existing concepts and beliefs and energies and emotions that we have that conflict and don't resonate with this new energy. Other people, I think, are feeling that same pressure, but it's causing them, instead of, they're just not letting go. So people are digging their nails in, and they're digging their heels in more so to the old, outdated concepts, belief systems, the news and the media, and just like the material fetishism, and just like the crazy, like the that sort of game. You're seeing more of that, more darkness, more erratic behavior, more negativity, more intolerance, and so forth. And it can be kind of like confusing, but that's, I think, just a consequence of people's free will. It's just energy coming in. You do what you want with it. And we're seeing people are making that choice. So that is it, my friends. I hope you have had a fun Eclipse Gateway. I'm getting hot in here. I had to turn the air down to shoot my video, but I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Have an amazing day. Love you all. Namaste.